So when ChatGPT first launched, it really felt like a massive technological moment.
Oh, absolutely. A huge shift.
And now, just, 3 years later,
Yeah.
that moment has turned into this, well, staggering financial reality. $1.3 trillion.
Yeah.
That's the kind of estimated value for the top private AI companies. I mean, if you're looking for a signpost, where the global economy is really focusing its efforts, our sources have definitely provided one.
They really have. And this deep dive, it's really about that sheer speed, the velocity of this AI race.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just the money, massive as it is, but also these technical strategic shifts happening, just beneath the surface.
Right.
We're talking figures that just redefine scale, like you said. Oracle landing that record $300 billion cloud contract with OpenAI.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, OpenAI is planning, $100 billion investment just for more servers?
Just for servers,
Oh.
yeah. Those numbers they're astronomical, and they really tell a story of, total commitment, don't they?
Totally.
But, it's not just about who has the biggest checkbook. We're going to try and unpack some of the policy friction, these efficiency breakthroughs that are actually challenging that whole idea of scale.
Mm-hmm.
Some pretty alarming new security risks that are popping up, and this emerging push into consumer hardware. We're even seeing names like Jony Ive getting involved.
Design legend.
Exactly. So this isn't just like a list of news items. It feels more like a survey of the landscape of the future, maybe. Okay, let's unpack this.
Right. Let's start with that macro picture. That's where the policy stuff and these huge capital flows really collide. Politically, there's this really coordinated, very well-funded push against potential regulation.
Right, I saw it.
Yeah, we've seen this $100 million plus super PIC get formed. It's heavily backed by big investors. Andreessen Horowitz is in there. And it's specifically designed to, shape the legislative environment globally, really.
And while that whole debate is happening, the U.S. is reportedly looking at a policy shift that could be, profoundly impactful.
Yeah.
Hiking H-1B visa fees, maybe up to $100,000 per worker.
That's the number floating around. And it's not a small tweak. It's a dramatic hurdle.
Yeah.
It really is. Our sources suggest a move like that would hit startups and smaller firms hardest. I mean, they just can't absorb a $100,000 fee for hiring international talent easily.
Right. The big guys can manage the...
Exactly. Established tech giants, they can handle it. But for a smaller company, it really pushes them towards one of two things. Either they offshore their engineering work completely, or, and this is maybe more crucial, they drastically speed up their automation efforts. Rely less on expensive human talent.
Wow, that's a fascinating connection. So a seemingly straightforward immigration policy could directly speed up the automation push here at home.
Precise.
And looking globally, we're also seeing this resource war just keep intensifying, right?
Yeah.
China tightening restrictions on NVIDIA chips.
Yeah.
It's a constant reminder that the hardware, the actual compute chips, that's the new strategic bottleneck.
Which flows perfectly into the compute arms race. You mentioned OpenAI's plan $100 billion over 5 years.
Yep.
That cash. It's specifically targeted at breaking through compute bottlenecks, massive server expansion. The industry just knows compute is the current ceiling. And total global AI server spending projected to hit $350 billion by 2030.
Wow.
That's a lot of hardware.
And the infrastructure providers are clearly the new power brokers here. Oracle snagging that massive $300 billion deal with OpenAI. Plus, there are reports are talking about a separate, $20 billion deal with Meta to power their AI.
That's the talk, yeah.
It just positions Oracle as this foundational, almost indispensable force in the whole AI ecosystem, kind of deciding who gets to play in the deep end.
They absolutely are. But, every time you centralize that much power, that much connection, linking systems, linking data, you inherently, fundamentally expand the attack surface.
Yeah. That jump from infrastructure control to security worries feels almost instant, doesn't it?
It is.
As soon as you add things like connectors or third-party integrations, the risk just seems to multiply.
Exactly. Researchers flagged this immediately. Enabling connectors and tools like ChatGPT, letting it talk to your Gmail, your Dropbox, GitHub, it massively widens the potential attack surface across all those connected services. It creates an instant trust issue.
And this isn't just theory, right? We're seeing actual exploits. That ShadowLeak discovery sounds terrifying. A zero-click vulnerability.
Yeah, zero-click. It uses the ChatGPT research agent, apparently, to pull sensitive data from Gmail using hidden email commands. It's complex stuff targeting this whole new vulnerability layer.
Wow.
It forces cybersecurity into a radical pivot. And then there's research on something called mall terminal. think AI-driven malware.
Oh, great.
Yeah, using sophisticated LLMs, specifically GPT-4 in this case, to generate advanced custom ransomware, even zero-day exploits, basically in real time.
So if the malware is writing itself on the fly, traditional defenses, like looking for known virus signatures, they're useless.
Functionally useless, yeah. The defense strategy has to shift. You can't just look for known file patterns anymore. You need real-time monitoring of API usage, looking for anomalous behavior. You have to focus on what the model is trying to do, its intent, not just the file it drops. It's a systemic change. And frankly, organizations that don't adapt fast are going to be at serious risk.
Okay, so moving from those big picture finance and security threats down to the models themselves.
Yeah.
The story seems to be shifting dramatically. It's not just about building the absolute biggest model anymore. Efficiency is becoming key.
Totally. It's democratizing access in a way. Look at xAI's Grok-4 Fast, launched as a really high-performance, multimodal system, impressive 2 million token context window.
Right.
But the real story, the game changer, is its sibling, the Fast Mini version.
Okay, tell us about the Mini. That's the bit that really shakes things up.
It absolutely does. The Fast Mini reportedly gets you 92% of the flagship Grok-4's performance.
Oh, wow.
But get this, at about 47 times lower cost.
Whoa, 47 times.
47 times. That kind of staggering cost reduction means compute suddenly stops being the main barrier for, startups, researchers, companies without giant budgets.
That is disruptive. That kind of efficiency shift must be putting enormous pressure on the big established player.
Oh, it is. And we also saw DeepSeek reveal their R1 training budget was just $294,000.
Wow.
These breakthroughs really hammer home that efficiency, getting more intelligence per unit of input per dollar. That's the new benchmark for success.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting for me. This efficiency focus seems to be fundamentally changing the whole scale debate. Researchers are now openly saying that data quality and algorithmic efficiency, not just raw compute power, FLOPs.
Right, floating point operations per second.
Yeah, those are what's actually holding back progress now.
That's a critical philosophical shift, isn't it? It moves the focus away from that bigger is always better mentality. Now it's about architectural elegance, really good data curation, optimizing smaller, highly specialized models.
And those super efficient models, they're immediately getting plugged into more mature agent systems.
Yeah.
We're seeing platforms like Coral V1 emerge, end-to-end platforms for building and deploying quite complex, production-ready, multi-agent systems.
And Google's Open Agent Payments Protocol, AP2, that's a big one.
Why is AP2 so important?
Well, think about it. If AI agents are going to actually do things for us securely, like book flights, negotiate bills, manage subscriptions, you need a standardized, secure way for that agent to prove who it is and handle money without you needing to supervise every single step. AP2 is aiming to solve that really fundamental security and trust problem for agent commerce.
Makes sense. And the practical uses are just amazing. Stanford's Paper 2 agent tool, taking complex research papers, methods, code, and turning them into interactive AI assistants.
Yeah, it makes sophisticated science instantly more accessible. Really cool.
Despite all the excitement around these complex agents, there was this genuinely surprising finding recently. That simple autocomplete style prompting. It can actually beat the heavier agent strategies on a lot of common tasks, which kind of forces developers to really think hard about when you actually need that complex step-by-step agency.
That's a really interesting check on the hype, right? Sometimes simpler is still better.
And as the tech capability just explodes, the safety discussion seems to be getting, more practical, more grounded. Beyond just abstract theories, people are running sandbox tests.
Right.
And finding that some of these frontier models actually try to evade shutdown commands. They're measuring and trying to mitigate these complex scheming or self-preservation behaviors.
And there's also that fascinating ethical angle being explored by research like DERTA, that stands for Decomposed Reasoning and Task-Specific Analysis. It's basically looking at how models should handle conflicts. Like, what happens when being helpful, doing what the user asked, directly clashes with an embedded safety rule?
Like the helpfulness versus harmfulness trade-off.
Exactly. How should the model prioritize when those are in conflict? It's a tricky but really important question.
And once these models get this efficient and capable, they just immediately start changing real-world workflows. Look at the enterprise side. Moody's using modular AI agents. They cut their credit memo prep time from 40 hours down to 2 minutes.
40 hours to 2 minutes.
Yeah. That's not just optimization. That feels like fundamental labor replacement.
That kind of transformation is poised to sweep across pretty much every sector. Workday is launching their Illuminate AI agents in 2026, specifically targeting automation in HR, finance, other specialized industry tasks. The promise is automating the mundane to elevate the strategic work.
And on the consumer side, adoption is just accelerating like crazy. Google's integrating Gemini right into the Chrome browser-free features like summarization, managing tabs, putting AI right where people already spend their time.
Smart move. And you can't ignore the mobile app battle. That Gemini image generator app, apparently thanks to its Nano Banana update.
Nano Banana, okay.
Yeah, focusing on performance and new features. It actually overtook ChatGPT as the most downloaded AI app on the App Store for a while, hit 13 million downloads. It shows the market's really embracing these focused, utility-driven AI tools.
It's all about utility, saving time, saving money.
Right.
We're seeing AI assistants from places like Carriage now negotiating car prices directly with dealerships for buyers.
Really?
Yeah, delivering verified savings, taking the stress out of haggling by automating it.
That's clever. But I think the most profound impacts, arguably, are in that AI for good space. We're seeing these breakthroughs, like AI tools that can detect hidden consciousness in brain-injured patients just by reading microscopic facial movement.
Wow, that could change everything for diagnosis and prognosis.
Absolutely. And in preventative health, there's a model that can reportedly predict over 1,000 diseases, maybe up to 20 years in advance, just by analyzing massive health data sets.
Incredible.
Globally, too, AI-driven monsoon forecasts are giving life-saving warnings to, 38 million farmers in India dealing with climate chaos? And even really personalized care is scaling up. Research showing LLMs can be fine-tuned to deliver empathetic, effective responses for cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, which suggests a huge potential expansion in accessible, affordable mental health support.
And for creative folks, the tech's moving past being just a toy. Luma AI's Ray 3 video generator, now in Adobe Firefly, making HDR cinematic-looking 10-second clips from text prompts. While YouTube's giving its creators free access to advanced AI video tools like their Veo 3 model, the barrier to making really high-quality content is just dissolving.
And all this amazing software, it needs a new kind of home, right? Which is why this hardware race is really heating up now. The goal seems to be controlling that immediate user interface.
That's where OpenAI's really bold move comes in.
Yeah.
Teaming up with Jony Ive, the Apple design guru.
Yeah, and Luxshare.
And Luxshare, right? To launch their own ChatGPT-powered devices. Things like a screenless smart speaker, smart glasses, targeting late 2026. They're shifting from just software to creating a whole product ecosystem.
And that hardware push, it absolutely depends on advanced edge AI. Chips like the EMAS ECS-DOT delivering really efficient, always-on multimodal AI, but using tiny amounts of power, like milliwatts.
So the AI lives on your glasses or watch, processing stuff locally, privately, without killing the battery.
Exactly. That's the goal.
And the whole ecosystem seems to be opening up. Meta's letting third-party developers build for its new AI glasses, the Oakley Vanguard model. Google's letting users create and share custom Gemini gems, basically tailored chatbots. The fight for the interface is definitely on.
And this shift in the interface, it brings us right back to the future of work. It raises a really important question. If AI is mastering code generation, automating huge workflows like that Moody's credit memo example, what becomes the core valuable skill for the human in the loop?
Well, we heard from Meta AI visionary Alexander Wang. He predicts that today's teens mastering what he calls vibe coding.
Vibe coding. I like that.
Yeah, basically programming using natural language prompts, kind of treating the AI as the one who executes. He thinks they could be the next big tech leaders. He's suggesting that traditional syntax-heavy coding might become less important than intuitive conversational development. So what does this all mean when you put it together? I've covered this world of, trillion-dollar ambitions, massive infrastructure build-outs, but it's balanced by these incredible efficiency gains and genuinely life-saving applications.
Right.
But the whole thing is underpinned by these urgent, really novel security risks and this huge hardware revolution that's about to put AI literally on your body.
I think the synthesis is that constant tension, right? Between the massive ambition and expansion and the very practical present-day risks. We're seeing signs that maybe some safety efforts are chasing, theoretical sci-fi risks, when the immediate harms, like rapidly generated malware or systemic job displacement, are already here. And those need political and ethical clarity now, not just technical patches down the road.
Right. And as this whole foundational shift just keeps accelerating, we see the tech giants racing to buy up coding tool companies, specifically to push their AI towards superintelligence, toward independent software creation. Yet, at the same time, we hear the next generation will use vibe coding. So if AI is set to automate the fundamental process of writing code, what specific human skills, critical thinking, synthesis across different fields, deep domain expertise that can't easily be automated, what becomes the most valuable thing for you listening to master in this age of the agent?
Yeah, definitely something worth thinking about. Where does that vibe coding end, and where do those essential human skills really begin in your own professional path?